Close your eyes, hear the voice within calling. This heavy load got under your skin. All in, you got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside.
Hey there everybody, how's it going? Nice to see you again. Thanks for tuning in. So that channel trailer was something, wasn't it? I found a CD of those photographs from 24 years ago. That was July of 2001. So interesting times. I was actually driving my car down to Houston because I was flying the line and sitting reserve for Continental Airlines, and yeah, it was interesting times. Rather a handsome fellow back then, 24 years ago. I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, damn. But whatever. I can't believe it was 24 years ago. Anyway, I've had enough negativity on the X-E2. I've had it in the bag for a day or two now. Why do I keep calling this thing the X-E2? I did that in my last video on this. It's the X-E5. So my apologies for misnaming this camera. It's the X-E5. I've had it in the bag for a couple of days, and I like it for EDC. I would never put this camera in a bag with the W235 battery cameras like the XH2 or the X-T5, because I want to, like if I go to a wedding or something, I want one kind of battery, although I'd bring it along, but it would be like a C-level camera, right? But for everyday carry, this with a couple extra batteries, those little tiny batteries, it's not bad. I really liked the Xe2, Xe3, and I've never had an Xe4. Don't know what was going on with that. Don't know if anyone's ever had an Xe4, because it seems like they announced it and they were in stock for 35 seconds and then they weren't in stock anymore, so whatever. But yeah, this for the continuation of the XE line, this is really bringing it into the modern age, you know, over the past 5 years where we've gone. And so it is a good camera for the XE line. The other XE cameras had metal top plates, but they weren't as fancy as this. So this is really an upgrade, and I can see where the price is kind of justified to be more expensive. The XE line used to be kind of a budget line. I wouldn't call this a budget camera. This is definitely a higher level build quality. It's really nice that it's made in Japan, so that's a definite plus. So yeah, so I've got 5 tips for you, and they're really cool things. Well, a couple of them are that if you get into an Xe5, these are solutions to problems you're going to run into right off the bat. So number 1 is going to be the strap lugs for the Peak Design anchors if you use them. Now, if that'll focus on that, I don't know whether it will or not, I hope it does. These things here are really cool. Those are the anchors that come with these Peak Design anchors. If you buy those, a package of those, which is the 4 anchors, you'll get 2 of these really cool Peak Design anchor lugs. And you know what? They're so neat that I've got another pack or 2 of these around somewhere, which probably has these really cool Peak Design anchor rings, let's call them. And they're so small and so non-jingle jangly and so non-obtrusive that I want to get a few more sets of those. I don't see where Peak Design sells them separately. I think you have to buy the anchors in order to get the rings, the Peak Design rings. Like a camera strap's not going to fit in there, but those are perfect for the Peak Design anchors. And like I said, I want to get some for my X-T5s because I really like it. That really cleans that mess up. That's better than the triangles. Okay, so that's number one. And Peak Design black anchors. I mean, that's just, you know, how cool does, you know, you can't get any cooler than that, right? Oh, and Peak Design is actually making different colors, but they're all sold out. They have a blue and a, oh God, they got weird names for them. They got like a fuchsia color and an orange color and a blue color. Like that. I wouldn't mind getting some of those blue ones, but that's just for kicks and giggles. So, so that's number one, the Peak Design little split rings with the camera protector are a very elegant solution to a problem that if you want to use Peak Design anchors with your X-E5, you're going to have to get some rings for it. So that's what I would recommend there. The second thing that I would like to tell you that will help you out tremendously if you get an X-E5 is, and I mentioned this in my other videos, this front lever here is really cool. Okay, I've got mine programmed so if I push it this way I get white balance, and if I push it that way I get ISO. I don't know why I picked those directions, it doesn't really matter. Whatever you get used to, I don't think it makes a difference which way you go. But yeah, so now I've got my apertures, my shutter speed, and white balance and ISO right there, right now, no problems. Makes this a really nice camera to use. So I don't have any issues with that anymore because it's got a push-in button also. Now there's also another two set of functions you can map onto there, which I haven't found a use for. If you push and hold, push or pull and hold the button for like, it seems like a long time, but it's probably about a second, maybe a second and a half. It'll do another custom function. So I've actually got more custom buttons on this that I'm actually using right now. I'm sure I'll find something to put on there, but right now I've got white balance quick push and a ISO quick push or pull, or however you want to look at that, and it makes this camera really fast to use. So okay, the next thing is you're going to probably want to get some kind of a screen protector on the back for this always exposed rear screen. Okay, I mean it's very elegant, and I understand what they did there, and it's very nice. I really like the screen. It's easy to see in daylight. It might not have the highest resolution, but it's definitely not a cheap screen. Anybody who's complaining about the screen on the back of the X-E5, don't buy an A7C II or a Sony A7CR, particularly the CR, because you're going to be very disappointed. It's not as nice as the screen on the X-E5, and it's the same resolution. Go figure. So yeah, this is easier to see in the sunlight. It's a brighter screen. It's, I don't know, it's, you know, not all LCDs are made the same, and you can have different resolution and still have different quality levels. This is a very high quality screen. But the point is, you're going to want to put I like these tempered glass screen protectors. Let me show you the ones I get. So I like those Ulbter models. They're tempered glass and they seem to work pretty good. Get a really bright light, lay it down in one corner. They give you 3 of them, so you know, if you screw the first one up, you'll get the second or the third one. They're really cheap. They're like $6, $7, $8 on Amazon. The problem is that they don't have a model for the X-E5 yet. But in fooling around and in looking at what I got that might fit, it turns out that the A7C2 and A7CR screens, which actually had a couple of extras, fit perfectly on the X-E5. So if you get the Ulbter A7C2, Sony A7C2 or Sony A7CR tempered glass screen protectors, they will fit perfectly on your rear screen to protect the rear screen, which you know, it's not going to protect it from a hit with a screwdriver or if you drop it in rocks. But what it's really for is after, you know, a few years of use, you know, you can replace the screen protector when it gets scratched up instead of the LCD panel. So it can't hurt, right? I put them on all the backs of all my screens, whatever. And and plus I'd rather clean the screen than I'd rather clean the screen protector than the screen all the time. I don't know. It's just, I don't, for $6, $8, what do you know. That's number 3. Number 4 is I would recommend shooting RAW plus JPEG, so you can always have the RAWs even if you're not going to use them. I shoot the lossless compressed RAWs. They're not that big. It's not that big a deal. And this way you can play around with the film simulations because you've got this really cool handy dial here, which is awesome. So you can easily switch your film simulations, and you can even play with having 3 of your own custom film simulations. So there you go. But having said that, the other tip is I would recommend getting a very fast, very large SD card. So this way you just don't have to worry about it. You don't have to screw with it because it's in the bottom here. It's hard to get out. I am using right now a PNY is the brand. It's a V60 card. It's the Elite X Pro 60, 512 gigabytes. It was about $100 for that card, and it's well worth it. If you want a spring, if you got the Dosh and you want a spring for it, it wouldn't hurt to have the V90 card. They're like $200, 180, 150. I've seen them for whatever, for a 512 gigabyte one. But the V60 seems to be doing the video and everything else. You can't beat the XH2 with the CF Express Type B cards, okay, for video. I mean, you know, but for photos and everything, I think the V60 is fine. So there is that. But I would get a very large card. You don't have to take it out. You don't have to mess with it too much. I do take it out when I'm sitting at my computer to put it in my card reader to download my images and my videos to my computer. But the point is if you have a very large, rather fast card in your camera, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, it gets kind of overkill. Shooting RAW, lossless compressed, and JPEGs, I get 7,000 photographs and 20 hours of video. So yeah, it's more for the video. Like I don't have to worry about downloading the card all the time is what it comes down to. And for an EDC camera, that's a good way to go because it's not something like the photographs that I'm taking with it aren't mission critical for particular projects. They're just kind of random, like I'm walking around, saw something cool, click, whatever, or I'm traveling and it's like I just want to take some pictures of where I am. That's what this camera's for, and it's great for that. And bonus tip, I'm really digging that 16-50 XF, the new kit lens that I got with my X-T5 on the X-E5. It kind of really, it's a little bit big, but the versatility of this right here, it's a one-stop shop, fits in my bag real fast, pulls out real fast, and I've got 16-50 and it's sharp. So cool stuff. I also can run the Fuji Crons, which I do, which really pair awesomely with this camera as well. The last tip I've got for you, and this goes for any Fuji, and I've said it before, friends don't let friends use Adobe products, particularly if they shoot Fuji. If you gotta use your Lightroom and you gotta use your Photoshop, whatever you do, get yourself some Pure RAW by DxO to convert your RAW files. If you want your JPEGs, your RAW files to look like your Fuji straight out of camera JPEGs, you know, if you're not using DxO, you're leaving money on the table. DxO gets everything out of the Fuji files, the X-Trans files. And if you don't know, I know everybody probably knows this, but if you don't know, the Fuji cameras, the X-Trans sensor is different from every other camera on the market, pretty much, with maybe a few exceptions, maybe the Sigma Foveon. I know that's different, but for Canon, Nikon, Sony, they all use bare sensors. Even the Fuji medium format cameras use bare sensor arrays. Okay, the X-Trans, the X-APS-C Fuji cameras, most of them, there's one or two exceptions, they're the lower level cameras, but like your X-T5, your XH series, your X Pro series, and your XE series all use the X-Trans sensor. It's a different pattern, and you need the right software to get as much as you can out of it because there's a lot that's in it. and it's very high quality. And when I really went, I mean, DxO, I went from Adobe to Capture One, and it was better. And then when I went to DxO, it was like way better again. So I personally prefer DxO Photolab over any other editing software I've ever used. DxO Photolab 8 is what I'm using now, and that is equivalent to what most people use Lightroom for, which is, you know, your data access management to browse your files and then to quickly edit your files. If I have to do some serious editing, like I'm layering HDR or stuff like that, or masks, then I have a $50 program called Affinity Photo, which is a Photoshop clone. It's what it is. And with those two programs, I use DxO Photolab for 90% of my, maybe 95% of my editing. And then there's a few things that I bring into Affinity Photo, but between the two programs, I've got everything covered that I could have ever used with any Adobe product. I highly recommend either using DxO Photolab. It's not, I mean, you buy it one time, it's like $100 and something, $130, I think. That could be the upgrade price. I don't know. It was under $200. I don't like buying software. I think most of it's a waste of money. The DxO software I buy, I started out with the Photolab 6 and I upgraded to Photolab 8. I skipped one. I didn't have to do that, but Photolab 8 looked pretty cool and it was current and whatever. And surprisingly, I have DxO Photolab 6 on some of my laptop computers that I take into the field, and it still works fine and it's still supported. Go figure. So DxO Photolab is a great program, and it's a great company. And if you gotta use Adobe, I would use their Pure Raw plugin. All right, I hope all that helped somebody. Yeah, I had to come to grips with this because, you know, I think I was just throwing a hissy fit because it wasn't the X Pro that I really want. And obviously, you know, I knew that going into it. When I started realizing that, like, hey, it is an XE series camera, it's just like the XE3, it's just like the XE2, except it's a higher build quality, because this top plate is much sexier than the XE2 or XE3. I don't know what the XE4 looks like. I don't know what this bottom plate is. I think that's aluminum too. It feels like it. But yeah, this is finished a lot nicer, and it's, you know, so yeah, it is what it is. In a way, it is a missed opportunity. They could have improved the UI when they were at it. I will say this: the dials on it are a lot nicer. They're like one-piece aluminum dials, so you know, they're nicer than the dials on the XT series. So yeah, it is what it is, and in some ways it's really cool and it's worth the money, and in other ways it's a missed opportunity. But for right now, it's the only rangefinder style, somewhat decent APS-C X-Trans sensor camera that takes XF lenses, and it's got IBIS and it's got the 40 megapixel sensor. And I don't know what they did, but the battery life with those 126 batteries isn't too bad either. It doesn't kind of, I haven't really done any video with it, but it doesn't, because that used to eat those little 126 batteries. Like, you know, you get through a video and half your, you know, 10-minute video, half your battery's gone. But with this camera, the battery life seems to be okay. I mean, you know, setting the camera up and playing with it, it didn't eat that much battery. So maybe they've improved the processors and whatever, they're not as power hungry. I don't know. So anyway, hopefully I'm giving back a little bit, because you put up with my soapbox rant on Fuji, what they could have done, and I wanted to help you guys out with some of the things I found to make the camera a little bit easier to use and to protect the camera. And yeah, I love those strap rings that were in the Peak Design package. That I didn't even know they were in there, and I've been looking for my other packages to see if I can get some more of those strap rings. I may have to order more anchors. So I don't know how I turned this into a 20-minute video. I've been rather long-winded lately. The X-E5 brings out the waffle in me. So if you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe. It's the #1 thing you can do to help out a small channel, and I am definitely a small channel. And if you don't want to support the AI bots taking over YouTube, and you want real content and a real human being talking to you, this is it. Doesn't get any realer than this. Realer? All right. Thanks so much for watching. and we'll see you out there with my X-E5, not 2. All right, bye.